Now I'm doing a live here for my Facebook page and for my YouTube page because the Facebook when I tried to do a live there again it had some issues with me, and I did a whole thing there about the moon and about the atonement, 2024 here. So now we doing a whole moon thing talking about these moon worshippers, and what's happening is that you can see our palms right there. We got the palms there for the Sukkot, but we're still not celebrating Sukkot yet because what just happened a second ago, and everybody saw this, and the Most High blessed us this year because it was a miracle on how the Most High blessed us on what just happened with this moon because at the beginning of this month we had when the moon worshippers, and I'm going to explain that whole term because I've been calling people this forever, but people haven't really understand it. So now I'm going to actually explain it. See, when the moon worshippers told me that they kept the moon at what's called the Molad. Let me get my thing. The Molad is when come on over here for a second. The Molad is I was working on the tent there. This is our Cisco tent. The Molad there is what a lot of these people, the world, they keep the new moon according to what they call the no moon, the black moon. And when they keep it according to the black moon, then what ends up happening, it ends up making the full moon the 14th day of the month. So a lot of the people, so we end up seeing, come on, get closer, see, we end up seeing that moon on the 5th. And when we saw the moon on the 5th, we counted, according to the new moon, we counted 15 days from that day. You see. Now, probably read what it says at the beginning of the Feast of Tabernacles.
And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, The 15th day of the 17th month of the 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord. On the first day shall be a holy convocation. You shall not do no servile work. During 7 days you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. On the 8th day you shall be in holy convocation unto you, and you shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly. You shall not do no servile work therein.
So we did. So what happened here? So we start actually counting from this first day of the crescent moon. So of the 7th month, when it says moon, it'll say a word where it says the new is just say new, but when it says the word moon, it'll say aware, just moon. You follow me? So it's up to 7 moons. So now we're going to read the definition of new moon because see this is the problem. The problem is that the moon worshippers, and this is why I call them moon worshippers, and this is why I'm just breaking this down after many years because we really hadn't told anybody why I've been calling them moon worshippers until now, this video right now. And now since we got proof of their moon worshiping, and everybody's seen it, and we're gonna just point it out very clearly for everybody to understand crystal clear what's going on here. So now, polite, read that in Enoch, describing what a new moon is.
And on the first day it is called the new moon, for on that day light rises on it.
So a new moon is the day that the moon, the light first rises on it. Most people call it a crescent moon. You see, the Muslims, they start their month by this crescent moon. You see what I'm saying? In the ancient Hebrews, we always started our moon by the crescent moon. And we haven't really been running around telling everybody that. But that's what we've been doing all this time. And when we got the calendar out, the calendar let it be known that we go according to the crescent moon, not according to the no moon. You see, so now what the problem is, the moon worshippers, because they are going according to a no moon, they don't see nothing at the beginning of their month. You look up at the sky, it's black just like it is right now. Just completely black, because they don't see anything. But when we look up at the sky, and I'm going to put the link on this video, showing you the moon that we saw on the 5th, and it was a crescent moon. So we count we count 15 days from that day that we saw it. So we saw it on the 5th year, this specific year, and and it ended up until we actually came to what is called the 15th day, and that's when we got the first the feast of tabernacle. So right now we're still preparing our booth, but they already started their tabernacles. Why? Because they started 2 days earlier than we did. They started when they saw no moon. And then they started from there and they counted to a full moon. So now what the issue is now, so they look at, so the only thing that they see in the sky, and this is the key, the only thing they see in the sky that gives them any time reference is either the quarter moon, it's either the full moon, or it's either what they call the red moon, the 3/4 moon. These phases of the moon is what they are following to give them a track on what they believe or how they believe they should keep in the feast days. But according to the scriptures, the new moon, and it says new, that's the moon that we supposed to be keeping. In the beginning of every month, we have a new moon feast, and there's a blowing of the trumpets in the new moon feast, and that's what we keep every year. So we have been holding out on all this information. Now this is a U organization that I represent, and the U organization, we appointed judges, various different judges throughout the community, and the whole concept of this organization, this Israelite organization unity, is for the purpose of establishing judges to be able to answer all of these questions. You see, so the whole people ask me why I have Farrakhan up. This is what happened. Farrakhan, he posted the Holy Day of Atonement, and this the book about the Million Man March, and this is Farrakhan recognizing himself as a son of Israel. I don't know if you can see that there, huh? It talked about her, the house of the children of Israel, that we're the true children of Israel. And this is us at the Million Man March. This is me in the book, in that book. This is our us identifying ourselves at the Million Man as Hebrew Israelites. You see what I'm saying? So all of this stuff here is all centered around the children of Israel. So the children of Israel is commanded to keep this. Now, among the world, you have different people, different cultures. They have different ways in identifying the new moon. Some people, like the Jewish, they deal with what they call the Molad. Not saying that they know that the original children of Israel kept the crescent, but they keep the Molad in order that people won't get off into moon worship. But it flipped because people are actually dealing with moon worshiping, because when they see the quarter moon, when they see that full moon, they take it as a sign that they're on the 15th day or the 14th day of the month. They take that as their proof that they are on time, you see. But actually, they're counting from the 2 days before the crescent moon even comes up. You see, so all of these things, all of this is all about, and this is why again we have this, I keep talking over and over again about this DNA. See, DNA now, because this is the map. Look at this map here. Get close here. See, this is the map of our people that we've been showing for years, of our people coming down into the land of Ham along the west coast. This is the map that we've been showing for years of how we traveled out of Jerusalem and went down into what we call the land of Ham. And this is one of course the coordinates with the breastplate on. You see what I'm saying? That was down in the land of Ham, in that area among the Igbo. You see, so here we show on how from that area we was taken from slavery over to the Americas. You see, the children of Israel. But now, finally, we have DNA evidence verified us coming out of the land of Israel down into the land of Ham, and it almost fits like a glove on the historical route. If you put both of these together, this was the history of us going down, and this is actually the DNA information of us actually being down there. You see, so this like all so the history of us coming out of Jerusalem and the actual proof now. We have two witnesses of the children of Israel, and the DNA of the children of Israel are one being. So when I'm talking about these holy days, my whole agenda has always been centered around the children of Israel are one being. And a lot of this information, we held this information back because, just like the Jewish started among the Edomite Jews, I should say, they started identifying themselves as us, and they gave Zion a bad name, and they started identifying themselves as us, as the children of Israel. And then behind that, they created what they thought was the new moon, which we didn't let them know what the actual new moon was. And they saw us watching for those 2 days. That's the telescope there. Look at the telescope over there. You see what I'm saying? Where we would watch for the new moon for 2 days. And then when the crescent moon come out, that would be the actual new moon. So during the time we was watching, just like in the book of Samuel, when David was missing those 2 days, that was the watch. It was the 2 days of the new moon watch, the black moon, that they identified as a new moon for those 2 days. You see, so that's how this confusion started among them. Now, among the Native Americans, you had them identify the full moon as the new moon. You see, and then among certain people that deal with Mississippi, the devil worshippers, they deal with the full moon as the new moon. And also, a lot of you heard the vampires and werewolves, full moon. That's where all of that comes from. So when I'm calling people new moon worshippers, it's because, and this year specifically answers that question. It's because they look at the full moon as their proof that they're on target with the calendar of the Most High God. When the calendar says new, it's dealing with the crescent moon, like Enoch said, from the word of Moses, not black. So when you count from that time that we started, then you would end up where we're keeping, and exactly where we're keeping the tabernacles according to the scriptures. You see, so I'm answering everybody's question. People was reaching out to me and they was asking me these questions, and then I had people mailing me the full moon saying, Chief, look, it's a full moon, it's a full moon, it's a full moon. And I would say, yeah, well, yeah, okay, moon worship. And they be like, what? Like, why you call me moon worship? And I've been doing this for like years, but now in this feast, and you had so many signs. You had a sign on the first day, then you had a comet next to your moon, and then you had a red moon. And a lot of people took that. Wow, these are signs that we're absolutely correct, and these are signs that you're absolutely wrong. And now I'm pointing out how you absolutely wrong. Once you start counting, as I've been doing for years, according to the book of Enoch, counting the new moon when the light first comes, versus 2 days earlier when there's no moon and the sky is as black as we are right now, then that will put you 2 days, and then that will always put you on the full moon. But we always keep, if you notice, for years, we always keep, we've been telling people this, we always keep the holy days Passover after the full moon. Because we're not connecting ourselves, and the scripture hasn't connected us to the moon worshippers that the people worship. And every time you see moon worshipers, they always dealing with that full moon. You see, so it's all type of artifacts among the children of Israel of moon worshiping with the full moon and with the crescent moon, and identifying according to the scripture. So all this. But now, why am I coming out with this information now? Why am I coming out with all this information? Because for the first time, we have DNA evidence. Now, no more culture vultures. Nobody else can just come along and just say we're the children of Israel. And why are all these people reaching out to me? Because they just came along and they look online and somebody told them online, this is what a new moon look like. Because the world is keeping the new moon. with no moon. So they look at the definition of new moon, they see it's no moon, and then they see the different segments of the moon, and it makes perfect sense to them. It makes perfect sense. And then they go and they run with it. And they think they standing on foundation, but they're not standing on scriptures. And when you're standing on scripture, then the Bible tells you very clearly, you know what I'm saying? About leaning and about following the ways of this world. And you cannot please God, and you cannot please this. You can't love the world, and you can't love God. You got to make a decision between this world and the word of the Most High. So that's as simple as I can make it. Does that make any sense to you, disciple? Does that make any sense to you, disciple? Apply what I'm saying? You guys have been keeping this all your lives, and it's a very clear distinction between looking up at the sky and seeing nothing, and then counting when you see something. So this was what, Apply? Alive in Israel. Walla walla.